Hey you, welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
I'm wife.
And together we're reading the Bible.
Starting with Genesis and eventually ending with Revelations, we're working through every book and offering our atheist 2 cents.
Or shekels.
Yeah, those. We're asking questions and pointing out all the nonsense.
We aren't academics or scholars.
Nope. In fact, when it comes to religion, we really don't know anything at all.
What we've learned so far is that God's a dick.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? If you're interested in how we reached this startling conclusion, maybe start from episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in anywhere. It's all good.
Yep.
Hey wife, we just got a new sponsor. It's Anchor. They must think we're doing something right because they picked us back up.
That's amazing. Want to hear something even more amazing?
Yeah?
I actually know what they are.
You are full of shit. I'm calling your bluff. Tell me about Anchor.
Okay, so Anchor by Spotify is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place.
I'm actually surprised you knew that, but did you also know that Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer?
Yes, because I see you do that on your phone all the time and it looks pretty simple.
It really is, and when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
But I use CastBox.
Yeah, darling, I know you like CastBox. It gets distributed there too, and lots of other platforms as well.
And how much are we paying for this awesome service?
Absolutely nothing.
Coolio! So then we should tell people to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started?
Yep, do it now.
Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
No,
I mean, not yesterday, Friday.
We suck at this, you know that?
No, you know what? Today is, as we're recording this, it's Sunday, and I had to buy frozen mice for the snake.
Yeah.
And I told the cashier, have a nice weekend. It's fucking Sunday evening.
Well, there's still weekend left, you know.
Have a nice weekend, I said. And then I got to the car and I hit my head against the steering wheel multiple times because I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry. Yesterday is not yesterday. I mean Friday.
Yes.
Do you remember what happened on Friday?
So, I recall that all you need to do to beat the Israelites and their 600,000 people is hold a sword in front of them and pronounce that you are the commander of the Lord's army.
But prior to that, you have to sit there for a while and circumcise your entire army.
Right, yes.
And while they sit there healing, nobody tried to do anything.
But just one guy with a sword.
He just walked up and they were like, friend or foe, yo? And he was like, I'm the commander of the Lord's army.
Right?
And then Joshua was like, oh, okay, cool. And that was it.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yep.
I guess we'll find out more about that today in Joshua chapter 6.
Joshua chapter 6, my friend. Okay, so we're starting Joshua chapter 6.
We are.
And the title of this section gives a spoiler.
Oh, well, that happens a lot, actually.
Do you want the title or no?
Yeah, no, we got to read the title.
Okay, well, it's the Fall of Jericho.
Well, I guess Jericho's fucking fallen.
I guess it's gonna fall.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a song about it.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Okay. Now, the gates of Jericho were tightly shut because people were afraid of the Israelites.
Wait. Are we just skipping over the guy that was standing in front of the fucking army with a sword?
Yeah, that was
just that happened and now we're just moving along,
that
right?
was just a 2-second little, like a 2-sentence little thing at the end.
Okay, if that's all that happens with that guy, we need to look that up because what the fuck was that? Okay, because this is bullshit. I wanted, like, I was hoping the first words out of this chapter would be, yeah, right? And then, who the fuck's this guy with a sword?
He's the commander of the Lord's army.
Bullshit. He's some idiot standing in front of 600,000 people.
600,000 freshly, newly circumcised dudes.
Right, yeah.
And yet the people in Jericho were like, oh shit, hold the gate.
I feel like that should be the first thing that gets mentioned. You know, like there's this dude that Joshua bowed down before because he said he was the Lord's commander.
And he took his sandals off.
Right, yeah, right.
Okay, so The gate was shut tight. No one was allowed to go out or in.
Okay.
Or in or out.
Yeah.
But it says out or in.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the Lord said to Joshua.
The Lord said to Joshua.
The Lord said to Joshua.
Okay.
I don't know if this was face to face or in his ear.
Who the fuck knows?
Or
maybe it was an angel. Maybe it was a dream.
Column of smoke.
Yeah.
Or like when the Wicked Witch flew over the sky and it said, "Surrender, Dorothy." It could be that.
Right.
So the Lord said to Joshua, "I have given you Jericho, its king, and all its strong warriors."
Then why the fuck are the doors locked?
You and your fighting men should march around the town once a day for 6 days.
What?
Why?
Why don't you just open the fucking gates? You're God.
7 priests will walk ahead of the ark, each carrying a ram's horn.
What?
On the 7th day, you are to march around the town 7 times with the priest blowing the horns. Okay, so when you hear the priest give one long blast on the ram's horns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have all the people shout as loud as they can.
Yeah, that does it every time.
Shout, yeah. Then the walls of the town will collapse. And the people can charge straight into the town. But why?
You know, you walk around a large wall enough and blow horns. Eventually, the wall just comes crumbling down.
I don't understand. That's so arbitrary.
It really is.
Why?
I feel bad though because if the walls came crumbling down, tumbling down, whatever,
not crumbling, tumbling,
whatever. Fuck cares. But if that happened, that one lady's house, what was her name? The Raina or whatever. Yeah, her house was built into the fucking wall.
It was.
So what happened to Raina or whatever the hell her name was?
I don't know that her name was Raina. Where'd you get that?
I don't
from?
know. That's what I remembered. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. I probably am wrong.
You're right though. Her house was built right into the wall.
Yeah.
So her house will remain intact except for that one side is going to be open.
Like there's just like one pillar left, and it's like her house.
Don't get that house. But they walk. Okay, so the Lord is going to just go ahead and knock the walls down for them. They got
to walk around and blow the horns.
Right.
And yell really loud.
And then they have to go in after the walls are down and fight.
Yeah.
But why? Like, why? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
If you're gonna go to the trouble of knocking the walls down for them, why not go the extra mile and just give them a plague or 3?
Right.
You know, I don't understand, like,
if you can knock
when and why the Lord steps in.
Right. No, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't. So Joshua called together the priests and said, "Take up the ark of the Lord's covenant and assign 7 priests to walk in front of it, each carrying a ram's horn." Then he gave the orders to the people. "March around the town, and the armed men will lead the way in front of the ark of the Lord."
Wait, they just said that they were going to do this, and then now they're saying they're going to do it?
No, God told Joshua, "Hey, do this thing."
Oh,
and so now Joshua is passing on the message. Hey, do this thing. Yeah, you know how it goes.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah. After Joshua spoke to the people, the 7 priests with the ram's horns started marching in the presence of the Lord, blowing the horns as they marched. So, first God has to say it, then the guy has to pass it on to the people, and then we have to hear about the people doing it. So we get it 3 times. And then in the next chapter or 2, they'll probably refer back to it.
Right, yeah.
So you got to hear it multiple times. It's very important
that you repeat things.
Yeah.
It's very important in the Bible.
So when they say Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho, did he though?
I don't know. We haven't even fucking got there yet.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, assuming that this goes the way they say it's going to go, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, we know that Jericho will collapse, right?
The walls, sure.
But we know that they fight Jericho and win, right? We know that.
Sure.
So when they say that Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho, like, that's how we remember this from the Bible, if you've heard this story before. But I didn't know that God just knocked the walls down. So I'm like, but did he fight that battle if the walls just came tumbling down?
I mean, they blew horns and they yelled really loud.
No, but okay, stop. Stop being ridiculous, because there's enough of that. I don't need you adding to it. It's really irking me.
Yeah.
And the Ark of the Lord's Covenant followed behind them. Some of the armed men marched in front of the priests with the horns, and some behind the ark, with the priests continually blowing the horns. "Do not shout, do not even talk," Joshua commanded. "Not a single word from any of you until I tell you to shout. Then shout." Right? Shout, let it all out.
Yeah.
These are the things we can do without. Come on. Is that how that song goes?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. So the Ark of the Lord was carried around the town once that day, and then everyone returned to spend the night in the camp. Joshua got up early the next morning, and the priests again carried the Ark of the Lord. The 7 priests... Oh, we got to read about...
I know, we got to do the whole thing.
Oh, God. The 7 priests with the ram's horns marched in front of the Ark of the Lord, blowing their horns. Again, the armed men marched both in front of the priests and with the horns and behind the Ark of the Lord. All this time the priests were blowing their horns. On the second day they marched again around the town once and returned to the camp. They followed this pattern for 6 days.
Yeah, just like the Lord, told them to do, I guess.
Okay, but we don't have to read about each of the 6 days. Oh, yeah,
good, that's good.
That's exciting.
Yeah, no, that's new.
I know. They were like, okay, they did it twice. Now we can just be like,
right.
and the like, and ... and etc.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And
they could have just said what the Lord said to do, and then they could have said, yeah, they did that.
And then they obeyed.
That all happened.
And then they obeyed.
Right.
Right? Like, this is so repetitive and boring. But, okay, we only had to listen to it twice, okay?
Yeah, sure.
On the 7th day, the Israelites got up at dawn and marched around the town as they had done before. But this time, they went around the town 7 times. The 7th time around, as the priests sounded the long blast on their horns, Joshua commanded the people. What did he command them?
To yell?
No.
Wait.
Not yell. Shout.
Oh, whatever. It's the same thing.
Shout.
Shout.
Like the song.
Shout. Let it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
For the Lord has given you the town. I mean, he will in a minute when you shout.
Right, but do you have to fight people and die? Or is he giving it to you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I'm so just put out by this. It's so, pointless. It's pointless. It's silly.
That's pretty much everything we've read.
I know, but this story in particular that we're reading right this moment is pointless and silly.
Yeah.
Jericho and everything in it must be completely destroyed as an offering to the Lord. Only Rahab, that was her name.
Rahab, I was close.
Raina.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
You said Raina.
I did.
Rahab. The prostitute and the others in her house will be spared, for she protected our spies.
So apparently that part of the wall did not fall down.
That part of the wall did not fall down.
Had to have been so.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
So her house wasn't built into the wall. Probably not even against the wall, but more near the wall.
Well, but they climbed through the window of her place
wall,
down the wall. So it sounds like it was built into the fucking wall.
Well, I don't know how that works. I would like
Spielberg
to make a movie envisioning this so that I can actually see how it went.
Right.
Because this doesn't sound possible.
Right.
Yeah. God and magic aside.
Yeah.
Do not take any of the things set apart for destruction, or you yourselves will be completely destroyed, and you will bring trouble on the camp of Israel.
Yeah, you got to watch taking that stuff that you're not supposed to take.
Looting and pillaging.
Don't do that.
Everything made from silver, gold, bronze, or iron is sacred to the Lord. Oh, is it? And must be brought into his treasury.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I bet. I bet it must. I just bet it must. Expensive items that are expensive. God really likes those.
You give those to Joshua for me.
Yeah. Those,
he really needs those for me.
Precious. God loves expensive shit. Not any of that cheap stuff.
You know what, though? It sounds like Joshua's taking this up a notch.
Because God didn't say that.
Because Moses didn't really he didn't demand all the gold and silver. They actually burned some of the, they melted it down instead of taking it. But he's like, no, just give it to me.
Just give it to me.
I'm good.
God wants it real bad.
God wants it.
Yeah. God's got a hard on for gold.
He wanted us to destroy everything, but actually everything except for the gold and silver, that comes to me for God.
And the bronze.
Right.
And the,
so, yeah.
For God.
Yeah, for God.
For God, though.
Obviously.
Obviously for God.
Right.
When the people heard the sound of the horn, I keep saying horns, rams. The ram's horns. I swear to God, I'm dyslexic. Ram's horns. They shouted as loud as they could. Suddenly, the walls of Jericho collapsed.
Amazing.
And the Israelites charged straight into the town and captured it. Well, I guess they fucking did. They didn't even have to work at it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm annoyed about.
I mean, according to this, they didn't even have to kill people. They just ran straight in the town and captured it.
They completely destroyed everything in it with their swords. Men and women, young and old, cattle, sheep, goats, and donkeys.
Well, they're assholes.
That is gross. Why did they kill young and old? I mean, I'm really put out by this.
Yeah.
This is not good. This is gross.
Right.
And, all these people were doing was living there.
Right, and they were scared of them.
Yeah.
So, like, you probably could have just walked in and been like, hey.
We're your king now.
Yeah.
Praise our Lord and et cetera, and give me your gold.
Right, exactly.
And also all your prostitutes except Rahab. Meanwhile, Joshua said to the 2 spies, keep your promise, go to the prostitute's house and bring her out along with her family. The men who had been spies went in and brought out Rahab, her father, mother, brothers, and all the other relatives who were with her. They moved her whole family to a safe place near the camp of Israel. That
was nice of them. They saved that one family.
Could you imagine, though, like, wouldn't you be like, I would have hidden you, too? Why her? Like, it's just the luck of the fucking draw.
Right, yeah.
I would have hid you in the attic or whatever.
It's too late, they're already all dead. So
yeah, whatever. I'm just saying, like, this is garbage.
Right.
Then the Israelites burned the town and everything in it, except for everything.
For the gold and silver and bronze.
Only the things made from silver, gold, bronze, or iron were kept for the treasury of the Lord's house. So when you say they burned everything...
They used to split this stuff between the tribes, and, like, now they're not even doing that.
No, now it just goes straight to the quote-unquote Lord's house, the Lord's treasury.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit.
This is grifting... like 102. They took it up a notch, like you said. So Joshua spared Rahab, the prostitute, and her relatives who were with her in the house because she had hidden the spies Joshua sent to Jericho. And she lives among the Israelites to this day.
Wow, to this day.
To this day. Whatever day this was that this was written.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like forever.
Yeah.
That's the way.
That's the way it sounds,
right? Not to this day, I don't think.
Right, not this day.
Not this day that we're reading this, but
so that's not true.
Right. At that time, Joshua invoked this curse: "May the curse of the Lord fall on anyone who tries to rebuild the town of Jericho. Mwah, mwah, mwah. At the cost of his firstborn son, he will lay its foundation. At the cost of his youngest son, he will set up its gates." So the Lord was with Joshua, and his reputation spread throughout the land. The end. Jesus.
Okay.
But
why can't anybody build Jericho back? Like, what's the problem with that? Why is that such a big deal?
I don't know.
They already killed all the fucking people.
Right? I guess the land is haunted.
I guess.
Bad, tainted land.
Bad juju.
Tainted land. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a little... I don't know. What do you think is going to happen to Rahab and her fam?
Well, they live amongst the Israelites. Apparently, they're just like part of the clan now.
Do you think she's still a prostitute?
Hell if I know. Probably. Well, no, that wouldn't go over well with the Israelites.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
I mean, the 2 spies went directly to a prostitute.
Right, but they never actually said that they utilized the services. They just,
They just went there.
So, I mean, us hypothesizing that they did that was us just kind of interpreting what we wanted to, which... more than likely, if that actually happened, probably was the case. 2 dudes go to a prostitute's house? Come on now.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't just there, like, getting the scuttlebutt from the local whorehouse. They were utilizing its services.
Right, yeah.
Think about it. They hadn't seen their wives in a long time.
Right. Because it would have been people from, like, the front. Maybe. Which they left them back in the, eastern land. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they absolutely required sex because, that the Bible just makes you feel like men they'll die if they don't have sex.
Right.
Their penises will explode and they'll die.
Yeah.
They'll die.
Yes. All right. Well, we're done with that chapter.
I'm less than impressed. I wanted this. I wanted this chapter to be better. Like, I thought the book of Joshua would be like, yeah, we're getting into story, but instead I'm like, oh.
But I'm really pissed off
that there was no further mention.
Follow-up about that fucking commander guy.
Like, who day?
What the fuck is that? That has definitely got to be a Q&A,
yeah,
right? Like,
I think
that has
so.
got to be a Q&A.
Sure.
I don't, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe they'll mention him next chapter, ?
I don't know. It sounds...
I mean, Jericho already fell,
yeah,
so
right?
I don't
like,
see
so what
why.
the fuck?
Whatever. I don't know. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, bye.
Bye. Husband.
Yes, wife?
Remember how you told me we're on Patreon now?
Yeah, why?
Because we're starting something new for Patreon members only. Every couple of weeks, we'll cover something in the news, a current event, or something we feel strongly needs to be discussed. And only subscribers get to hear our discussion.
That's right. It's all for our Patreon members as a thank you for their support. Join now for as little as $2 a month to get all of our extra content. Go to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse.
Do it now. Husband, it's the end.
It is indeed, wife.
Tell the people where they can contact us.
Well, they can get a hold of us via our email, which is sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. We have Twitter at sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh, why do you know? Why do you keep doing that? Ugh. All right, we have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a Pinterest page. But if you really want to get our attention, Twitter's where it's at.
Twitter is where you're at.
Yeah.
And they should also review, like, and subscribe, yeah?
Definitely. Apple Podcasts reviews help us out tremendously. And we also can use your support on Patreon, which is a great place to support us as well. That would be at patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse.
Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.